Welcome to 14.1, volume of objects made from cubes. We're going to understand volume, and we're going to start with the shape of a cube. So we did area, the two-dimensional space taken up by an object, of squares in our last unit. So if that is 3 inches by 3 inches, that's 9 square inches. And if that one's 9, all these other are 9, and there's 5 of them. So the total area is 5 times 9, 45 square inches. Now we're going to be drawing 3D objects in this unit. So let's learn how to draw a cube. Now, if you have your own way that works better for you, that is fine, but this is my way. So the front of a cube is a square. Now the secret to drawing a 3D object, including this cube, is the next lines. These lines going back in blue, they have to be exactly the same length and parallel to each other. If they're different lengths, the object looks bad. If they're not parallel to each other, the object looks bad. Right? So they need to be the same length and parallel to each other. The better you do that, the better the whole thing will look. I would say that one wasn't perfect. So then you connect those and you can adjust. And if you want to, you can draw the back corner like that, and you made a 3D object. So we're going to figure out how much stuff, how much volume that object takes up. It's an object made from cubes. So we're going to find the volume, the amount of stuff that could fit inside this cube. Now we know this is a cube because the length, width, and height are all the same. Now say that's the length and that's the width, and those are interchangeable, but going up, right, the up and down dimension is always the height. You're going to multiply those three, but in a cube, they're the same dimension. So it's 4 times 4, which is 16 times 4, and 16 times 4 is 64. Now, it was inches times inches, which would be square inches, times inches, and this is cubic inches. And we'll talk about, you say that as, so it is 64 cubic inches. And all volumes are in cubic dimensions, cubic inches, cubic feet, cubic yards. So what's the volume of that? Well, 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. This is 1 cubic inch. How many of these, I did not draw it to scale, but how many of those would fit in there? Well, 64 would fit in there because the one on the left is 64 cubic inches big. That means 64 of those 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch cubes fit inside. So the third power is set as cubed from the volume of a cube. So if this is a cube, I don't have to give you all three. We're saying all three are 2. Now notice when you draw a cube in 3D, things don't, this looks shorter than the others, and that's because of the way 3 dimensions look on a 2-dimensional page. But this is 2 inches times 2 inches times 2 inches, which is 8 cubic inches. So this one is 3 centimeters times 3 centimeters, 9 times 3 centimeters is 27 cubic centimeters. So this is 8 cubic inches, and this one over here was 27 cubic centimeters. So just like we added up squares, we can add up cubes. So we're saying this volume of this entire object is made up of cubes. So if all the dimensions are the same, this first one is 2 by 2 by 2. We just did that. It's 8 cubic inches. So is that one, and so is that one. So there are 3 of them. So total, they are 24 cubic inches of volume. Same thing here. This one is 3 by 3 by 3. So that one is 27 cubic inches. And this one's 27, and this one's 27, and so on. There seem to be 6 of them, and so 27 times 6, 6 times 2 is 12, plus 4 is 162 cubic inches. Oh, little drawing class. So how to draw these? All right, so how would you draw this? All right, my recommendation is not to try and draw little cubes. Remember that when we were doing surface area, I drew some things. Draw the front. Right, the front is a rectangle, and then try to divide it equally into squares. Then what's the key to it making look good? Remember, it's these lines going backwards. It doesn't matter what angle you pick really, it's that they all have to be parallel to each other and they all have to be the same length. Then you can connect them, and that's why you use pencil here. And whoop, I didn't make them all the same length. There you go. And then you connect them, and now you've made the object. So now, this one here, right, this dimension by this dimension, and we're going to say by this dimension, is 1 cubic inch. Now, we can see that there's 4 cubic inches in the front, but then there's another whole second row that's 4 cubic inches. So the whole thing, right, is 8 cubic inches. Now, how could you say that? Well, it's also 2 by 2 by 2. This one, same thing here. This one is 1 cubic inch. And we can see there's 9, right? There's 9 of these ones in the front, a little tic-tac-toe, right? 9 of those. And there are 3 rows of 9. If there are 3 rows of 9, the whole thing is 27 cubic inches. And if that one's 1, another way to think of it is that this one is 3. I'll ignore the other one that just came up. This one is 3, and this one is 3. And so it's 27 cubic inches. Let's look at this one. So this one now is different, right? This one is 3 by 3 by 3. So this one right there is 27 cubic inches. And now there are 8 of them that are 27 cubic inches, right? 27, 20. It's the same picture as above. I just changed this dimension. So each of the 8 is 27 cubic inches. So it's 27 times 8 now. 8 times 7 is 56. 8 times 2 is 16. It's 216 cubic inches. Now, a little drawing class. How to draw? I'll draw this one right here. Again, draw the front. Now, look at the front of it. It's tic-tac-toe, right? So we know how to draw a tic-tac-toe. Then the secret. Have these going back all the same and all parallel. Mine weren't so good. That includes these, right? All oof. Not the same at all. I messed these up. These are too long. All right, but that's why we have erasers, and we bring this down, right? And then you can just finish the tic-tac-toe there, and finish the tic-tac-toe there, and you've made the object. All right, so this is a cube, so this is 1.2 times 1.2 times 1.2. Well, 1.2 times 1.2, 12 times 12 is 144, so that should be a hint where we're headed. But 2 times 2 is 4, that's 24. Step over, 1 times 2, 1 times 1, we got 144. Move the decimal twice, 1.44. We got to go again, times 1.2. 2 times 4, 2 times 4, 2 times 1. Step over, 1 times 4, 1 times 4, 1 times 1. And I've got 1 number to the right. So this is that right? Only 3 numbers to the right. 3. 1.728 cubic centimeters. So this one is 1/2 by 1/2 by 1. Oof, I'm thinking of the answer. It's 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2. 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. This is 8 cubic inches. Now, interestingly, the volume there, 1/8, is smaller than the side, 1/2, because 1 is in cubic inches, the volume, and 1 is just the length of the side. Yeah, if one of the edges is less than 1 whole, right? Because when you multiply fractions, the numbers actually get smaller. So if this side is 5 centimeters, this side is 5 centimeters, and this side is 5 centimeters. So it's 5 times 5 is 25 times another 5. We've done 25 times 5 before, is 125 cubic centimeters for just this one. And it looks like 3, 4, 5. There are 6 of them. So 6 times 125. And I'm getting, what, 750 cubic centimeters for the volume of the whole thing. All right, so there's a couple of ways to do this one. I'll show them. So let's see. If that's 2, that means that's 2, and going backwards is also 2. So this is 8 cubic inches, right? And you can see there are 9 cubes in the front, and then another row of 9 in the middle, and then another row of 9 in the back. So 9 times 3, there are 27 cubes. Now we always assume they're solid. That's why it says solid, that there's no holes in them. So there's 27 of these 8-inch cubes, and that'll give you the answer. Another way to realize is that if that's 2 inches, then that must be 2 inches, and that must be 2 inches. It means each side of the cube is 6, right? Inches. So you could do 6 times 6, which is 36, times another 6. Both of those should give you the same answer. And let's see, 8 times 7 is 56. 8 times 2 is 16, plus 5 is 21. 6 times 6 is 36. Yep, both of them get the same answer, 216 cubic inches of volume. All right, so this is 1/2, this is 1/2, and this is 1/2. We did this. This is 1/8 cubic inch. And there's how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. There are 7 times 1/8. Yeah, 7/8 cubic inches is the total. All right, that's what it is. Good luck with the homework.